All right, so today, finally, we're gonna get this wall together and get it mounted on there. So it might take a couple days. I got some things going on, so won't be able to continuously work on it. But start getting it together, and then hopefully get that thing mounted up. But that's the plan. Sit back and watch. All right, it's getting dark, and got to do things tonight other than this. So what I got was, essentially I got the frame, the four corners all together, and then I can start filling in the little pieces in here, stuff like that. But that's kind of the hard part. Honestly, it's just a couple more hours or getting everything together and exactly where it needs to be, and this thing will be ready to go. And I can mount that right on there, and it'll be done. So I'll be done for that wall. Anyway, till next time. Back again on the camper build, just trying to finish up this last part of the wall. About got it done. Just need to basically fit some parts and hang it up. So we'll see what happens. I probably will have to modify the well, when I get it up. I'm sure there's gonna be some things that aren't quite fitting right. I already noticed it now, but I think it's just a little bit of a trim here or there. Anyway, just sit back and watch. so the wall is ready to be hung. That's what I'm gonna do. So we'll see what happens. See if it fits. I know there's a couple things I gotta trim up, but I mean, I made it exactly like the other one, minus the part that was rotted away. So we'll see. Alright, so I kind of threw a piece of metal up there because I knew there were some adjustments I had to make. One of the adjustments is, so up top, you can see how that doesn't reach, and then the edge right here is just a little too long. Now I traced it going off of the cardboard. And then up top, where it's too long, basically, as you can see right there, that the top part of the wall and then the roof part of the wall, those two are, the board needs to come down some. Not sure how. I'm gonna have to trim it, essentially. Just pop it off, trim it a little bit, put it back on. That should bring down there, and I made it along over here, so I'm gonna have to trim that as well, because it's basically what that's doing is lifting up the whole roof, more of a straight line versus the curve that it's supposed to have. So I'll have to adjust that. And then down here, that one looks like it fits fine. I think that's kind of where it goes. I'm not 100% sure. It looks pretty close. I didn't measure. So I'll have to figure that out, but it looks really close to where it needs to go. So that's what I'll do. From where I'm looking, it's really close, and it's not going to be long before this is done. So but once it's done, the video will be out and you'll see it. So I'm getting there. Real close. As you can see, like, the metal kind of just bulges out some. It doesn't really fit right. And then this up here is supposed to be level, even with it. So as you can see, that's not happening. It's kind of odd how that worked out, even though I traced everything the way it was supposed to. So we shall see how I need to make my adjustments on there. But yeah, definitely need to trim a lot on here somehow. Not actually sure how that's going to work out. If I ever may, I may have it. I may need to bring this back a little bit. I need to measure the door frame, and I think that's what's going to make the difference on here. All right, till the next day. So on day 4 or 5 on this wall, the metal is up for, what do you call it, reference? And to see exactly where this needs to go, I do have to make some adjustments. I've marked them up there. I want to pull this back off and then get this back on the table, kind of place it over top of the old one just to kind of get an idea, and then we'll see what I can do. So I completely forgot to put the piece of the board right here, so I got to do that one. And that's about it. So just watch me take it off, trim it, try to put it back on, and see where we get. All right. I got it. It is where it needs to be. As you can see, I had a trim up here to make sure. Essentially what it is that pitch coming down in the front. On the other side, I had to make sure that matched. I had some measurements between the doors, or where the door would be, which is like 22 and a half. I think the door frame is actually 22 and a quarter. And then I had to notch that back there. And I did see that on the old piece right here, but it wasn't nearly as much. So I think this one is thicker, or sorry, this one is thicker on the new frame than in the old frame. But it's where it needs to be. Everything seems like it's right. I want to stick the metal on, and after I kind of get it tacked in a couple spots, I will, as you can see, this goes right, essentially, let me move this over. This would screw into there, and I mean, it's just even, it's just perfect. The measurement between this corner and here, this corner is about 5.5, which worked out pretty good. I will be able to put this up. This is the only one that causes a little bit of concern. I'm not sure if it sticks out like this or if I'll have to trim it, and it looks like I may have to trim it, but I'm not 100% sure. On this side, if you come over here and look, it comes right even. So I have a feeling I'll have to trim that, but I'll probably trim it while it's on there, just so I can just take a little bit off of the time. But I believe it's at where it needs to be, and I think it'll work. So that's 1, 2. Once I get this front wall and the side wall attached, like permanently attached, it's go time. So that whole back side will be coming off next. I think it might be in the best interest to go ahead and do this whole side, because the back is a little more complicated because of the kick out, and of course I'm missing a window, and I may be taking the whole roof off as well, just to make sure everything up top is good. But I would want everything framed in. So the next video, actually I'll probably finish this up. I'll probably start attaching like this section, the bottom section here, up top here, and then I'll, once this is firmly in place, I'll go ahead and trim it. And I may actually take this off and put the new one on, screw it in, and then trim it to the size. So, but I want to take a bunch of measurements. I want to make sure I'm doing it right, and it may just be this gets pushed out or something like that, and it's just up here that needs to be trimmed. So I have a little bit of work to do, not quite ready to start trimming that. That'll be the last thing I do. So anyway, that's it for now, and the next video, or the next series of this wall, will be me completely done with this wall. All right, till next time. All right, welcome back to the channel. We're working on the camper again. As you can see, this wall, so I did a little bit of work before the last video, before I started filming, but I got this wall all squared up, and it is placed where it needs to be. So this is it, this wall, just like I said in the next video, this is the video, that wall's in place. Now I'm working on this front wall, getting that tied in, and this frame, getting all this tied in, so we can get that squared away. But today I have a special guest. Here is my friend Josh.
What's up, guys?
I've known him since about 5th grade, but he is out here to help me get squared away on this thing. So we are getting started. But anyway, sit back and watch. All right, so we got my goal done, what I wanted to get done today. Thanks for the help with Josh. So it's on. That front wall is on. This is fixed where it needs to go. Everything's lining up where it needs to be, and it's almost there. So I'm really happy the way this turned out. And next thing I know, I'm going to be working on this side. We're going to be pulling this off, and it's going to be a lot easier now to go ahead and build this wall, build this section, and hopefully I'll actually not have to tear more of the wood apart. I can just go ahead and just patch it in. I'm hoping that will happen, but you know, that probably won't. So anyway, till next time, see you later, Josh.
We'll see you.